Jerome Bruner was an American psychologist, educated at both Duke and Harvard. During World War II, he worked with the U.S. Army intelligence studying propaganda, which influenced his research, along with Leo Postman, about how relationships between needs, motivations, and expectations influence perception. This in turn led him to study the development of cognition and led to a particular interest in the cognitive development of children. Bruner suggested that intellectual ability developed in stages through step-by-step changes in how the mind is used. As our knowledge of the brain has grown, we have come to understand that growth is built upon existing foundations, and new knowledge triggers dendrite growth. When we connect knowledge, the dendritic trees grow pathways to each other and make deeper growth possible. If you note the image on the right, you can see the paths that are rapidly growing in a developing child as new information is connected to existent knowledge. Bruner proposed three paths that our brain receives knowledge in: anactive representation, which is an action-based; iconic representation, which is image-based; and symbolic representation, which is language-based. Bruner goes on to suggest that modern schooling may even be at odds with the culture's other ways of creating college and career readiness. He suggests that rather than giving a student rote knowledge, an educator should help a student learn to think and problem solve. These skills would then transfer to a range of other reality-based situations. Bruner posited that this type of education was possible through what he called a spiral curriculum. Information would be structured so that complex ideas are taught at a simplified level first, and then revisited at more complex levels later on. So the difficulty gradually increases or spirals and creates an embedded process that students can transfer to other problems. Bruner proposes that a learner naturally constructs knowledge via a coding system, and that the most effective way to develop the coding system is through discovery rather than delivery. The role of the teacher should not be to give a student information, but to help them discover the power of finding it themselves. And so Bruner gives us the constructivist theory to help us understand the importance of getting out of the way so our students will become learners.